So the thing we're working on here today is our 1979 Timberjack 230D 4-chord Porter, and they came with the battery box right in your swivel here. So we're going to take it, and everyone moves it to the driver's side, right above their step. That way you can actually get at it. Because if you have this kinked either way, tight like this, you can't get the top off of your battery box. So if something ever happened and you need to boost it, you can't get your top off. So it's going to go over the side, and if these leak, they'll go down top of the battery, and they're known to short the batteries out. We're going to move it. We got the battery charging up and warming up. It's been outside, and we'll put a second battery in it and get her going, get her ready. Just remove the 4 bolts here that go through the cab. Probably. Up there. Jobs like this is why you need your 1/2-inch Milwaukee cordless. And 6 more inches of concrete. That's been a while. So this is going to go over here. You notice the step is deeper. And that's going to go right like that. Your batteries go there because your master switch is right over there. It's going to drill 2 holes. Now we're just prepping to pull the wires from over there, and we're going to bring them through. I just need to remove that so I can see. I don't know what that is. You're going to need some drill bits to mount that. Right there. I just need a small drill bit to get that started. These concrete self-tappers and see what they're like. Might be God's gift. Or we could be portering away and the battery falls out on the ground. Who knows? But they do look cool. And that's mostly what I shoot for. Comes with their own special bit and everything for grabbing them.
All right.
If it breaks off in my hole though. Oh wow, yeah. That worked good. That I'm surprised about. Wow, that's cool. So who needs proper tools when you got concrete gear? I better not lose this stuff all over there. This is all now spare bolts for the next project. Right now I'm trying to figure out how we get the battery cables out of from where they were at. Now they need to go across to there. I'm just trimming back this rubber because when I stick it through, I'm gonna cut this back. It looks a little green. See if there's a good spot in it or not, or if I need to replace it while I'm at it. 'Tis the season. See the green? Wonder why your porter don't start? That's why right there. Loose connections, rotten connections, oxidized cables. I thought it had big old battery cables on it, but it doesn't. Just this whole hose for a connector. Okay, let's chop these up. See if there is anything good about them, because those do not look good.
Did you buy new ones?
No, I hate these bolt-up ones. The only good ones are the soldered ones, because like the battery might be half decent, but if the connections there are so poor, like they're just garbage. Oh yeah, look at that, just wrecked. That wasn't starting netting. And guess what? If it can't pull from the battery, it usually doesn't charge the battery that well. I don't know if this battery gets charged anyways. Okay, so that's for the main, the center. Okay, that's good to know. And look at the grease fittings you couldn't even get to. See them? The block of them? Right now, I'm trying to get the top off the master disconnect because I want to take the connections off of it and clean them up, make sure they're good. I want to move. This is going to come over here. I want it to go above that. Oh, don't even need to drill a hole. There's a step in it. So this is the ground. We're gonna take it off. There. We're gonna unbolt it from here, and we're gonna move it over here. And we're gonna shrink her up. She's a little too long. Take this one right off. We're gonna check it, make sure it's good. And then we're gonna move it over. So that's gonna go back in. Yeah, so these are the solder on ends that they didn't solder. They just crimped it, but it looks alright. It's not too bad. So we need a grinder. Just stripping this. Put the new end on. This is actually going to go in front of that because it's going to go right there to the ooh, that's blinding. Oh, see how it just got really bright?
Yeah.
That means bulbs look below. Let's get a new washer here, and we're going to put that to it, and we're going to file the top. I brought a file. Just to shine her up. So it makes a good ground. Use what you got. those are good. We just gotta cut and bare the wire for the positive side. As you can tell, that's not the best looking. The ground that we shortened up, so it can go right there. Eventually we'll get a spot for that. It'll be up in the loft. Hidden treasures. Solder these ends onto the battery cables. And you do that, you put some paste down in it, and you get that good and hot, and you stick the end in. We'll do one at a time. We need vice grips. Be very careful. It'll spray and burn you. Yep, certain size. Our new torch here, the MAP Pro. MAP gas, need the MAP gas. Don't waste your time with that propane. Now we're talking. It's adjustable, you can turn it left, right, up, down. So that's it. You just keep feeding it to it until you see the lead come right up, right around it. Makes a good seal. Now do it again. New battery in. There's just one. We got to pick up a second one. And then we'll get that in, but for right now we're just wiring up our lights, so this will allow us to test and make sure it's all good. So one of the steer cylinders here is leaking hydraulic fluid pretty bad, so we're just gonna pull that spring pin, pop the pin out of this. We're gonna pull, there's 4 bolts right in there on the cylinder. You take those out, slide that cap out, and then the packing's in there. You push that in and pull your C-clip, or I don't know what kind of clip it is actually, I didn't pull it apart yet. And then you can pull the whole thing out on the floor and we'll see what's wrong with it. Okay, so we pulled our four bolts that hold our plate, our end plate on, which allowed us to pull it back, which then exposes the face of this here. Then you got to push this back up the shaft, which then exposes this ring that is in the barrel of the cylinder. So then when you push this back, exposes this, you snap this out, pull it off the chrome, then you're able to hook onto this and pull everything right out like we have here, not the packing itself. So we're just going to knock this end nut loose, take it off, so we can pull the packing out, and then we'll grind the face and put it back together. Got it apart, all the packing looks pretty good, right until we got to this seal. And the reason why it's not sealing is because there's a little, like a fiber spacer that goes in behind the seal, and it's broke. So we'll have to order one up. So it's all back together. Last night I slipped over to Everett's and I grabbed a new bearing for here. And he had the seal that was messed up, so I grabbed that, and we got her snapped back together this morning. We'll see how it works. So we're just accessing the drive shafts here. We're going to check the U-joints, make sure they're good, and grease them up. And then we're going to check the rear ends for make sure they got fluid in them.